Welcome to Eye on KELOLAND Rewind. I'm Maddie Paul, and behind me is the scene of Lake Madison from our KELOLAND live cam, which you can find on KELOLAND.com. We have a lot of stories to share with you today, so let's get started with our very first story. Homelessness is an issue that touches every corner of KELOLAND, and not just in the bigger cities. Lauren Solik takes us to a shelter in Sisseton, South Dakota, to learn about its mission of meeting people where they're at.
Though it was fairly mild when we visited Sisseton, winters in northern South Dakota can get a lot worse. Just ask Dustin Robertson Sr.
Yeah, last year I froze my foot off, or my toes.
You see, last year, Robertson spent the winter living in a van. This winter, though, he is staying at Russell Smith's teepee, formerly known as the warming house.
A good place to be, or a good place to come. Like, these workers take care of, like, certain people here.
This building in Sisseton serves as a shelter for people without homes to go to in the colder months. It opened for the year in November. And program manager Don Ryan says with the availability to only fit 10 to 12 people in here, they are at capacity.
Because of our small space, we've had to put people in the day room because people will show up and need a place to go in like in the middle of the night or evening. We've had people stay in the day room on a cot, but we do have beds. Those are all full though, so we accommodate where we have to or we need to.
Ryan says there are other places for people to go in Sisseton, but Russell's teepee serves a part of the homeless population that the others won't.
We don't ask the residents they don't have to be sober to stay here. We kind of just meet them where they're at, provide their basic needs, and try to create some stability for them so that they can move forward if they choose to. We connect them with local resources, treatment, voc rehab, counseling.
The idea of meeting people where they're at is important to Ryan because she's walked in their shoes.
I was homeless in Sioux Falls like when I was younger. And I was addicted to alcohol. And so I've been there, and I understand where these guys are coming from, and I understand that it can become a lifelong thing.
So she and shelter supervisor Linda Obago are dedicated to being good relatives to those struggling now.
Everybody deserves to be warm, fed, cared for, clothing, water. You know, these are basic things that a lot of these guys wouldn't have or have little access to. That's not living, that's surviving. They need a chance to live.
A chance to live and get back on their feet.
You know, while I was in prison, so I think it's helping me stay, in like a sober community and helping me, get back to life I used to have, so with my kids and everything,
New this year, Russell's teepee will be able to help even more. Ryan says in the past, they only operated during the winter from November through April. But now, the Sisseton-Wahpeton Oyate Tribal Council has agreed to allow them to be open year-round.
So there's a lot of changes that are happening, a lot of things that have to happen in order to get that ball rolling. But it's pretty exciting because, the need's there all year.
And Russell's teepee will be here to meet that need, snow or shine.
I can see when people know that they're really cared for. That's really awesome to see when they've not had that before.
I just think it's a real good place to have here. Some people need it, to help them get back where they were, I believe, yeah. So if they wouldn't have this place, a lot of people maybe just keep going in that path they were going.
And that was Lauren Solik reporting. Russell Smith's teepee is a tribal program, so Ryan says monetary donations go through the tribal secretary. However, they'll also take physical donations of blankets, food, and winter weather gear. She says now the next big goal for the shelter is to get a bigger space. We still have a lot of stories to go for Eye on KELOLAND Rewind. Still to come, we hear from a few nonprofits that were selected for a grant and what it will mean for these organizations. We'll explain more when we come back after the break. You're watching Eye on KELOLAND Rewind. And welcome back to Eye on KELOLAND Rewind. A new year often brings new opportunities. For some Sioux Falls nonprofits, it means the chance to better their respective missions. Carly Phillips explains the new resources city officials are providing them with.
Though quiet and snow-covered now, come summer, Levitt at the Falls will bloom into a lawn filled with people and a stage full of artists.
It is all about building community through music.
Levitt at the Falls is one of many nonprofits in Sioux Falls, offering free concerts during the summer. But until then, crews are focused on finishing a new addition to the Levitt shell.
On the east side of the stage, there'll be additional storage in the front, but in the back, there'll be a new green room for the artists and a new dressing room. On the west side, or the Phillips Avenue side, there'll be the DSU programming room, which is a 4,000 square foot multi-purpose space.
This year, organizers have not only the additional space to look forward to, but they also have some extra support from the city.
The City of Sioux Falls has selected 10 organizations to receive funding through its new Community Partners program in 2026. The initiative is divided into 3 priority areas aimed at improving at-risk populations, culture, arts, and community programming, and economic growth.
For example, each year we take a couple of bands up to the penitentiary and we do concerts for the inmates there. So this funding allows us to just expand our reach and meet more people with what we're doing.
Not far up the road is the St. Francis House, another recipient of the 2026 grant. It offers transitional housing to its guests, and now, thanks to the new city funding, its staff plans to continue those efforts. The nonprofit will also serve as a fiscal agent to 4 other groups who were part of their application for funding.
Urban Indian Health. They will be coming in and not only continuing the culture activities that they're doing with the smudging and the talking circles, but they will also be offering the Red Road treatment program for individuals who are Native American in within our agency.
The grant will help St. Francis staff prepare guests to move on, like helping them search and apply for jobs.
Our component, of course, is doing the administration of the funds as well as our continued case management that we do for individuals that have gone out of our agency and doing some more of that outreach type programming.
Meanwhile, in the heart of downtown Sioux Falls is a group of workers dedicated to keeping the area a visitor destination. Downtown Sioux Falls CEO Brandon Hansen says the ambassador program will be able to grow under the new city funding.
They're here 7 days a week, every day of the year, whether it's -20 or 100 degrees out. They are on the street and they're doing things like trash removal, graffiti removal. We do all the Christmas lights down Phillips Avenue as well.
Hansen is hopeful they can add a pair of ambassadors with the grant money they receive.
When there's higher visitor traffic, it is higher more seasonal work that we're doing, whether it be snow removal or leaf removal throughout the district. This last year alone, our ambassadors removed 200,000 pounds of trash from the district.
The city says it relies on organizations like these 3 to address priority areas, whether that be community engagement, stability and support, or economic drive. Nonprofits are grateful officials are willing to help.
I'm just so thrilled that the city sees value in that and wants to support that effort.
And that was Carly Phillips reporting. $1.6 million has been set aside for all 3 priority areas. Next, the city will negotiate contracts with each of the 10 selected organizations. And once that's complete, they'll head for approval from City Council. We still have stories to go for Eye on KELOLAND Rewind. Still to come, we meet the Sherman family to learn about Kobe's story and to see how they're honoring the life he lived. We're going to explain more and show you this story when we come back on Eye on KELOLAND Rewind. Stay with us. And welcome back to Eye on KELOLAND Rewind. A family from Viborg is paying it forward. It's to honor their late son and brother, Kobe Sherman. During his fight with cancer, Kobe was so moved by the support he received, he wanted to help people going through the same struggles. Jordan DeSmet shows us how Kobe's family hopes to honor the selfless life that he lived.
Kobe Sherman was the type of person people gravitated toward.
He is a guy who's always smiling, no matter what. He had the most contagious laugh and competitive spirit.
He was a tremendous kid, very faithful kid, very positive kid.
And as Kobe's father, Jason, and his mother, Leslie, can attest, Kobe also had a love for sports.
A lot of our time was spent at the gym, on the baseball field, on the football field. That's what we did in our spare time.
The best thing he loved about sports was the teammates, the camaraderie. He just loved that competitiveness.
What probably helped build that competitive drive as he started high school at Viborg Hurley was being around his two older brothers, Grady and Brody.
And when it was time to get serious and get competitive, he flipped a switch and it was go time.
We were raised growing up playing every single sport in a small town, and we just didn't know anything different. And it was what bonded us brothers together, and it's what bonded our family together.
Unfortunately, when Kobe was 16, the Shermans were given news no family wants to hear. Kobe was diagnosed with cancer on March 23rd, 2023.
You think about people going through cancer, or you think you know, but it is 100 times harder than you ever imagined.
But through his years-long battle, Kobe kept a smile on his face through it all.
He was the rock for our family during the journey. And he, had bad days, of course, but you would have never known it.
Thankful for the support he received, Kobe wanted to pay it forward. It inspired him to start the Midwest Miracles Classic, a day of basketball with the goal of raising money for pediatric cancer families. Its first year was in January of 2025 in Hurley. It was successful, but Kobe knew it could be bigger.
In order to get the Classic where he wanted it to be, he always dreamt of it being at the Corn Palace.
So Kobe spearheaded the effort to get the Classic to Mitchell, which was where 9 games were played and even more money was raised for pediatric cancer this past weekend. However, Kobe wasn't there to see it. He died in November of 2025.
We battled hard and tried everything we could, but God had other plans, and we're going with it. We're just trying to get through it now.
Would have been better to have him there, but I know he was smiling and proud from above.
His family wants to carry on the tradition Kobe started.
We want to continue Kobe's legacy, Kobe's mission, by just bringing a competitive atmosphere to one of the best venues in the state, and to support as many pediatric cancer patients and their families as we can.
We're just trying to make Kobe as proud of us as we are of him.
And as his family looks toward the Midwest Miracles Classic next year, they will keep Kobe in their hearts and remember him as a fighter and someone who always put others first.
Kobe will be remembered as one who was always willing to talk to everybody, and he always valued every second with everybody he met.
Nothing can prepare you to watch a family member go through something like that. With that being said, watching him, the way he attacked this with his attitude and effort and through his faith was inspiring to many people, and especially his father.
That was Jordan DeSmet reporting. The Midwest Miracles Classic was created through the nonprofit Midwest Miracles Foundation. We still have a lot to go through for Eye on KELOLAND Rewind. Still to come, we meet Ann Thompson and hear how the Adam L. Thompson Foundation is teaching others that children's heart health matters, and the stories behind homelessness with Now That You See Me. We'll explain more when we come back after the break. Stay with us. You are watching Eye on KELOLAND Rewind. And welcome back to Eye on KELOLAND Rewind. The Adam L. Thompson Foundation was created out of heartbreak, but its mission is rooted firmly in hope. Created in 2012, the goal is to educate people about heart disease in children and the warning signs. Tom Hansen brings us an update on how the foundation is saving lives.
Adam Thompson was just 16 years old when he died suddenly from a heart condition, a loss that forever changed his family and the community of Baltic. In the years since, the foundation bearing his name has worked to raise awareness about pediatric heart conditions and support efforts aimed at preventing similar tragedies. It all started one day in 2012. Adam was at home and he was tired and he went to take a nap.
I just heard this huge bang, something's going on. And so I went in there and he was laying on the floor. And I was kind of like, okay, Adam, you got to get up. He's my jokester, and he didn't get up.
So how does a seemingly healthy 16-year-old boy just die? An autopsy provided the answer. Adam's heart was 4 times the size it should have been.
They called me that next morning and they're like, do you have a pen? And I said, yes. And they said, write this word down. And it was hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. Big old word. And that started my journey.
And started the Adam L. Thompson Foundation, a way to turn grief into action. The organization focuses on increasing awareness of heart conditions in children and the importance of early detection.
I am so passionate about this because there's a huge part of me that keeps wondering if this could have been prevented. And it's something that I wasn't aware of, and it's just something you still don't, to this day, still don't hear a lot about it. But kids can have heart problems.
A central part of the foundation's work is funding and placing automated external defibrillators, AEDs, in schools, athletic facilities, and community spaces. The AEDs at the Sioux Empire Fair are provided by the foundation. The foundation also supports heart screenings and CPR training. For instance, the kids at Baltic School are being trained to save lives.
They never want another parent to have to undergo what they have gone through.
Sharon Lotus is the school nurse in Baltic. She also works at the cardiac unit at Sanford Hospital. She says the foundation is saving lives.
Not only have they given us AEDs when we opened our new high school, but they have replenished batteries and they have given us CPR mannequins for me to teach younger students how to do CPR.
If something happens, the chances are a 10-year-old's going to jump in and do something quicker than an adult would, and so that's why I do it.
The Adam L. Thompson Foundation is a small organization that relies on donations.
We don't have a lot of money, that's for sure, but every donation, I'm just so, it's appreciated so much, and it all goes right back to whomever would need it, whether it be an AED or CPR kits. It all goes back.
While the pain of losing Adam never disappears, Thompson hopes the message remains clear. Children's heart health matters, and awareness and preparedness can save lives.
The easiest way to support Thompson and her mission to save the lives of children is through the foundation's Facebook page. We've actually provided a link with this story on KELOLAND.com. Just go ahead and scan that QR code that you see on your screen right now to take you to KELOLAND.com, where you can read this Eye on KELOLAND story from Tom. But up next, we drive past someone who is homeless. It's easy to forget that they have their own name, their own life, and their own story. Summer Roddershot introduces us to someone who is taking the time to learn those important stories.
Jackie Barr used to frequently get asked to talk to people about her story with addiction recovery.
I got to the point where I started working with Midwest Street Medicine and just kind of hearing some other stuff, and I realized, I just didn't want it to be about me anymore.
So she decided to take two major aspects of her life and mix them together.
My dad is a reporter and journalist, and then my grandma was a homeless liaison for the Sioux Falls School District. So I kind of wanted to conjoin both of those connections and use those skills from them that I learned and do something with that.
That's how she created Now That You See Me.
When I brainstormed the project, I intended it to be pretty much solely the stories of the unhoused folks in Sioux Falls, which then kind of branched into family and friends of those people, and family and friends that maybe did struggle with homelessness, don't anymore.
The stories have caught the attention of people across Sioux Falls.
I first heard about this project, I guess about a year ago or something, and I love it. This is the sort of thing that we need to be seeing in our community. Individual citizens reaching out and engaging, seeing a problem, and lifting up the voices involved.
She writes most of the stories from memory. However, sometimes she jots down important details while she's talking to people. In listening to people, she realized how many people don't listen.
There's people that want to talk about their situation and want to share their humanity and their family and their story, but not a lot of people think to listen or ask.
Jackie's on the street. Jackie's helping people. It's not some passive thing. She's not just driving by and saying, oh, those poor people. She's actually talking to them, getting to know them, learning their names.
The project also helps humanize the people you pass by every day.
There's a lot of struggle in our community that isn't seen. I feel as a city we try to kind of push it out of view, but even those people in view are dealing with just more than you could even possibly imagine.
It brings the complexity into it. And that's what folks largely don't want. They don't want the complexity because that means then they have to do the work. They have to actually build shelter. They have to actually build public transportation. And they can't just use excuses and treat these people like they're criminals when, in fact, the system has failed them.
And as you take a look into Now That You See Me, Barr hopes you take away this one thing.
Whether they're a student or a professor or a politician, you know, a family member, like there are so many people with stories that want to listen to other people's stories and help their community. Because if there's one thing about Sioux Falls, it's that, you know, we're a community. We've got that going for us, but we have to remember that doesn't exclude the homeless.
And that was Summer Rottershot reporting. And that's all the time that we have today for Eye on KELOLAND Rewind. Thank you for watching. And remember, you can find all your Eye on KELOLAND stories online at KELOLAND.com. Until next time, have a great day, everyone.